Hello, good morning. Let's continue with building our little airport here. And today's video will be fairly short, but fairly important. This is going to be about importing pre-made Lego brick objects. Now, one of the chief and main complaints when building airports for the Scenery Gateway is that there's not enough stuff to choose from, not the correct hangar sizes, no uh, towers that look good or fit your airport or look like the one that you're trying to make. And fortunately, we have some very good scenery artists that get really creative with the facades and with the objects and combining them. And we thought, well, why does everyone need to reinvent the wheel? And Julian worked together with Michael to really bring us an ingenious way of adding pre-made Lego bricks to your airport. And this is how it works. You go to X-Plane.org, and of course, you already know this website by heart. You go to the Scenery Development Forum, and there is a subforum called the Scenery Gateway. You click that, and then you check out one of the pinned topics is the reusable Lego modules. And we call them different terms, sometimes reusable, prefabricated, whatever, but it's all the same. And here in the first post, you can see a link to a Google document. And if you open this Google document, I have that done already, you jump to the first page, and here is all you need to know. There are so-called prefabricated Lego brick modules for the gateway airports. Whenever Julian, the guy that polices and moderates the airports that we will upload, when he sees something cool or when sometimes he makes them by himself, you can see like these towers, they're made by Julian. He adds them to the prefabricated Lego brick repository. You can see some pretty cool looking towers. We have some nice like more towers here, or even these ones, a little Chinese looking maybe. We get hangars of different sizes. The size is one thing. Like, look here, there's a little Cessna parked inside. You can see that the size of this one isn't so big. These ones are bigger. And one cool thing about these prefabricated Lego bricks is that a lot of them you can resize. I will show you that to make them fit. The ones that are made exclusively with facades can often be resized. At least the footprint can be stretched. Of course, these ones are combined with towers, so you can moderately resize the outside facade, but you will probably, well, you see that the tower stuck inside here is an object, so that would you have to be careful and experiment with that if you want to resize them. So anyway, there's a nice selection here that you can uh, pick from, and these look pretty good. And of course, Julian will add more to that as he sees them. Now, so how do we go about adding one of these? It's actually pretty simple, but you need to follow a couple steps, otherwise you will fail. And he describes everything up here, but I'll just go through it really quick to show you how it works. Let's say we want to add a hangar. Now, these ones have 3D roofs and these ones don't. I think the difference is that on these ones you may be able to see from inside through the roof, because a lot of these facades are only solid from one side, which saves on frame rate. But of course, if you sit inside the hangar, it looks kind of silly. Let's see, you know what, it really doesn't matter. We'll just go with this one. And see, there are two variants. This hangar has a scenery ID of 66138 and 66139, and the second one is lit, so you can really decide which one you want to pick, or you can light them yourself later on. Let's go with the lit one, 66139. So we go back into our wet project. Here it is. And I just deleted the background map, so make it a little faster. And what you do is you import from Airport Scenery Gateway, just like you would when you start out with an airport. You import and you search for the four-letter code LEGO. And Lego is right here, the Lego brick modules. You pick that one, you go next. And you see here they are, and you can sort them, of course, by anything, and it makes sense to sort by scenery ID to find out the one that you want. Now we said we want 66139. So here is 66139. We go import packs and it's done. I'm not in the pane right now. Here it is. So there's a little airport. You can see this is the hangar itself. It has everything is selected. See, it's over here. We have the Raleigh Exec airport still, and then we have the second airport right underneath the Lego brick modules, one that we imported. And it always consists of a helipad. It's over here. It has to, because otherwise it wouldn't constitute an airport. An airport needs to have at least a helipad or a runway or something like that. And Julian added the helipads. But this, of course, is just a dummy, so to say. You don't want to import that. Later on, we just want to import the hangar, and see there are 4 uplights here that Julian or whoever made that placed to illuminate the hangar. And the uplights are currently under a bit of discussion. They are just invisible lights that sit on the ground and shine towards the side that they're pointing at. You cannot see them, but they light up the hangar pretty nice. Of course, one of the downsides is that if something taxis in front or a ground vehicle goes in front, it gets lit up really bright. And some say it creates a little bit of an artificial look to the hangar. It's debatable. You can look for yourself, and if you don't like them, just delete them. Anyway, this airport is sitting here, and let's I want to show you how this works. We'll toggle the world map, and I'll zoom out a little bit, and you see it's sitting right here off Africa. Now, our airport is, of course, obviously over here in North America. So the problem used to be, how do you get your little pre-made fabric thing over here? Well, initially what we did, or what you could have done, is you could have just, as you know, always do, you select everything except for the pad, and then you click it and drag it. Now you have to zoom out a little bit, otherwise you'll go crazy dragging it for, I don't know how far this is, 6,000-7,000 miles. Obviously, this is too tedious. And what Michael came up with is pretty cool. What you want to do is you want to tell WED to immediately teleport the stuff that you picked, that you selected. See over here. You want to teleport that into your airport. So what we do is, first we need to tell WED which airport we want this to teleport to. And now if you see, if you go here, airport, there's a line here that says edit airport Lego brick modules. It's currently not, it's grayed out because we are currently editing the Lego brick module airport, and we don't, because we just imported it. So WED thinks that's the airport we want to work on, and that's not true. We want to work on this one, the Raleigh Exec Jetport. So you pick airport, and see, now it's black. Now you can select it. So we click. Now WED knows that we're editing the Raleigh Exec Jetport. Now we select the stuff that we want to copy, and here's the kicker. You go edit, duplicate, and there's the old duplicate in place, Control-Shift-D. You used that a lot already, and now there's a second option, duplicate and move to airport Raleigh Exec, and that is the one that we want. And if I click that, snap, here we are back at the correct airport, and it just puts it smack in the middle. Now all we have to do is we have to move the hangar, and of course now you can also duplicate it, and see that it also moved the 2 groups that this hangar consists of, the objects and the facades, into the Raleigh Exec Jetport folder. And now we're done with this. All you want to do is click this, hit the delete key, and forget about it. Now we have this over here. You can duplicate it as many times as you want right here in place, and make multiple copies of this. Or you can go again and add more Lego bricks and import more Lego brick prefabricated stuff and copy them to the airport that you're working on. And of course, to tidy things up, you would probably want to, if you already have a folder called facades, I would just pick all the facades and just move them into my folder. I don't have one yet, so I'll just leave it there, and good thing. Now I have objects and facades groups, and that will come in handy later on. But if you don't want to double stuff up, or you could make your own group called prefabricated Lego bricks and leave everything in there. That's just an organizational question that you want to answer for yourself. Now, I talked about resizing, and yes, you can of course resize this if you select everything with a marquee tool, and if you know already, if you drag one of the sides, it distorts everything pretty bad. Go Control Z. But if you hold down Control and grab an corner, then you cannot distort it. All you can make it is make it bigger and smaller, and of course that way you can adapt the footprint of your hanger to a certain point, because obviously the height will not change. The height will be the same. So if you make it really big, it's going to look like one flat big hanger, or if you make it really small, it's going to look like a little tower thing, like an outhouse maybe. You don't want that. You want to pick the right size hanger to start working with. See, this is like a smaller one. I would use that one to make little Cessna type hangers, and then probably bigger ones. Or here the T hangers are also pretty small. You can see the little Cessna stuck in there. Julian is starting to put little reference objects next to the hanger to help you judge the size a little better. Well, this is it for this video. I hope that this will help you make airports that look more organic, not always the same, using the same 3 different hangers that we get. And I like to use that a lot. It saves a lot of time. Of course, you can make these yourself. You can look at how things were done and start making your own modules. And maybe, who knows, if you come up with something really cool, really ingenious, then Julian will add it to the repository too. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll keep going on this airport.